the Saratoga of the South. There was 8 different mineral springs right here. Hey everybody, this is Colonel Russ Carson Jr. with Family Tree Nuts, and I've got a special guest with me. You want to tell them who you are?
Jameson Cable from the Kentucky History Podcast, and a local native in the area, I guess you could call me as well.
Awesome, awesome. You may have seen our videos that we have done together with our live show called History Nuts. But here we are today at a place that's very near and dear to your heart, and it's a story that you're the absolute expert on, right?
I'll take that. I don't know if I'm the expert, but sure, I'll be the expert for today. Yes, it is. I'm a local native. I grew up here. I've been here pretty much my entire life, and now I even work here.
Wow, what do you do here, Jameson?
I teach here at Crab Orchard Elementary, 5th grade. Been here for 8 years, and really, it got me started.
Yeah, this sign is actually what got you started in building the Kentucky History Podcast, isn't it?
It laid the groundwork. I saw this sign. I started talking to my co-worker, James Pope, who is also my co-host on the Kentucky History Podcast, and it's been history since.
Awesome, that's really cool. It's really cool to come to that spot. So let's get to the story. So I guess the reason we're here is because of the Crab Orchard Springs Hotel that started clear back in 1827, right?
That's true. Jack Davis established the first hotel in 1827.
Oh my gosh, that's almost 200 years ago.
It is. And Crab Orchard Elementary School is actually built on the location where the hotel used to stay. And behind it is actually where the springs are as well.
What's behind there now?
Now a big pond, but that's where the springs used to be.
So the reason they came to the mineral springs was for all their medical ailments, wasn't it?
That's what they thought, for sure. But they came here, they relaxed, they stayed, and they were entertained. Crab Orchard became what would be called the Saratoga of the South.
Right, because it became a resort. It wasn't just for the mineral springs. They were doing lots of other activities here as well, weren't they?
They were. Horseback riding, cockfights, boating, bathing, and billiards, and golf even.
Cockfights?
Yeah, it was legal then.
It was legal then. It still goes on in some places, doesn't it?
True,
but,
true.
It was like almost like an upper crust would come here, I guess, via train, come to the area, enjoy the hot springs, and enjoy all the other socialite activities in the area.
Yes, it was a high society place. I would declare it that. That would be a good way to define the activity going on here.
So I guess it became pretty popular for all of the bluegrass region, wasn't it?
It was, and it was a bonded station. You know what that means, Russ?
Does it have something to do with the railroad?
Very much so. So Crab Orchard, or the Crab Orchard train station, was a bonded station, meaning you could get a ticket to anywhere in the nation.
From right here in Crab Orchard?
Right here in Crab Orchard. There's a story of a man in California who asked, hey, I want a ticket to Kentucky. And the ticket master at the station said, well, I only know of 2 places in Kentucky, Louisville and Crab Orchard.
How about that? Just 2 places, right?
Yeah.
That's really cool. By the way, if you like these videos, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and click that little bell right there so you get notifications to when we post new videos.
And don't forget to check out the Kentucky History channel and subscribe to it as well and get videos from, well, around here, from Crab Orchard and other places in Kentucky.
Yeah, that's amazing. Definitely a big deal. So we're showing you lots of different photos and things of the area that was here. There was several different buildings that they had on campus here, I guess. It wasn't just a hotel, there was many other buildings. What are some of the other buildings they had?
Well, they had horse stables, they had saloons, taverns. I mean, it was a happening place. You could just about think of anything and they had it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I guess in 1871, the hotel actually burned down, didn't it?
It did, and Isaac Shelby III, which is Isaac Shelby's grandson, the first governor of Kentucky, he bought the property and rebuilt it at the cost of $115,000.
$115,000 back in 1871.
That's a lot of money.
It sure was.
Its capacity was 700.
Wow.
In June of 1827. $50 per month for the season.
You can stay just $50 and you can stay
$50 the whole season.
That's not bad at all, I guess, right?
I would like to get a place in Hawaii for that if I could.
I bet in today's money that's probably what, $15,000, $20,000 or something like that
say
to
so.
Stay there. And I think it had 250 rooms too, didn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that's a really big place.
It is, and it's hard to imagine. But I mean, honestly, if you drove by today and you saw the school, which the school has been rebuilt in different areas, yeah, I would say it's about the size of the school, if not, could have been bigger.
Yeah, absolutely. It is hard to imagine. You know, you and I, we drive down these country roads and we imagine what it looked like 100, 200 years ago. But here it was, right here in the little town of Crab Orchard, was a real happening place.
It was.
Before I forget, How did the town get its name, Crab Orchard? What a weird name, Crab Orchard.
Well, it's very interesting. Whenever the first settlers started settling here in Crab Orchard, there was a bunch of crabapple trees all over the place. So that is how it got its name, Crab Orchard.
Awesome. And it became like a major stop on the Wilderness Road as pioneers came through here, didn't it?
It did. It was very important to get those settlers where they wanted to go. And it was one of the first stops after the Wilderness Road.
Right, absolutely. They could come back and resupply, get some information on what's going on in the area and things, maybe sell some of the stuff that they didn't need, that they were on the journey. It was a major stopping point on the Wilderness Road.
It was.
So around 1906, they actually started bottling the spring water here, didn't they?
They did. So they began, you know, you think about Coca-Cola and pop, I guess if you want to call it that, is what we call it around here.
Right, pop. It's called pop.
So they started bottling pop, and some of the locals started bottling spring water from the Crab Orchard Spring. There was the Goodwins, they bottled concentrated water, and there's actually a few bottles you can still find, not open bottles, but some old bottles of the Goodwins Cola. So that's pretty cool. In 1915, Crab Orchard Cola was actually bought out by Knee-High.
Knee-High, how about that? That's still around?
No,
I don't
think
know.
so.
I've heard of Knee-High, but that's pretty neat how you know these colas pop up all over the country and then fade away into oblivion.
There you go. Yep.
But that's also neat how they had their own water and pop around here, isn't it?
Yeah.
So in 1897, Joe Willis purchased the hotel, and he was the last owner.
So he owned it until 1922, and from then on, that was kind of the point that you could say that Crab Orchard's popularity began to decline. The trains stopped coming as much, and from then on, Crab Orchard lost its springs, or the push for the springs.
Yeah, that whole popularity happened all over the country. People stopped coming to the mineral springs near as much. They had automobiles, they were able to travel and go further and things like that, and they weren't as reliant on the trains. But it lasted about a century, didn't it?
Yes, so a long time, and you think about it as well, the hotel actually burned twice. And for it to keep going under different management, it standed the test of time while it was there.
It sure did. And it's really cool because this is such a unknown place, even to people that live in the area today. And that's why we're making these videos, to get these places to be remembered forever.
Yes, it's very important to me and to my growing up, but it's a very important place to the community, and it needs to be known, and people need to know about it.
So here we are at Crab Orchard Elementary, the site of the Crab Orchard Hotel, which lasted here for about 100 years, where people used to enjoy the resort and the mineral springs. And hey, remember, family tree nuts, let our nuts find the nuts in your family tree.